Alright, when we look up there, folks, straight above you here, you will see gray stone. That is the limestone. The brown markings you see on it, it is woodlice. But then there are things hanging, cream things with light green, hanging from the rocks. That is the calcium that was between the rocks that melted, and as it came through the rocks, it crystallized and hanging there. The rest of it dripped off on the ground and also crystallized on the ground, just like that. Okay? That which crystallized and is hanging from the rock, it is called stalactites. The dripping on the ground that crystallized is called stalagmites. And for you all to remember these things, where stalactites and stalagmites, it's very simple. Those guys up there, they're holding on tight because they want to fall down, so you know tight is up there. Stalactites. Right? They're hanging on up there, so they're holding on tight. Mites are things that crawl, so mites are things on the ground. Right? So stalagmites on the ground, stalactites hang from the roof. Okay, guys? Now, because it is just a dripping from the stalactites on the ground and crystallizing, it actually takes hundreds of years for a stalactite to eventually meet a stalagmite and form a column, just like this one over here. Alright, so this is a column here. This is a stalactite that met a stalagmite, and the calcium continued melting, and it grew fatter and fatter until it reached this size. Wow. Now there are much larger columns down below, as we will see. Now the color of this column is green, and that's because all the green that we see around here is a mixture of sunlight and moisture, which forms moss. So all of the green is moss. And the fact that this column is full of moss, it tells us there's no more calcium up there melting. There's no more calcate material. That's what they call it, calcate material. There's no more calcate material running down there. So the whole thing has moss around it. Alright? What you're seeing there is rain that has come through the rocks and dripping off there. So there's no more formations to be formed inside here. As I told you all, the scientists have told us that this cave has been here since the Ice Age, so I don't think that there's any more calcium up there to form anything else. All formations have been formed. There's no more movement or anything to be done on this cave. So let's go a little further down. Oh, before we go a little further down though, when you look up, you see some dark holes. Those are bat holes. That's where the bats sleep. Now, the fact is, the reason why you have bat holes is because the material that the bats stick their feet to the roof to hang upside down to sleep, that material, the calcite material, cannot penetrate it. It runs around it. And as it runs around it and crystallizes, it will end up, when the bat sleep, ends up in a hole. Okay? So that's why you have all those bat holes up. Alright, let's go.